I think the source of our power is honestly just our individual skill. We fortunately weren't worse than the sum of our parts, but we weren't better than that either. And I think slowly, as we've been playing more and more, we've sort of built up that synergy. But heck, even without that, you have to be scared of every single one of us on the Rift. So, hey teams, be prepared and be scared.
The mid lane battle is going to be, it looks like it's going to be a battle of players with only 4 champions. And so it's just going to be which one of us gets the most comfortable pick that we're ready for. But also seeing that it is a best of 5, I guess it's going to be which one of us can keep our cool and stay ahead of the other one. Because I firmly believe that depending whichever one of us wins is going to determine how the game goes.
I think that RLS has a ton of potential, and that it's really hard to put a ceiling on our, skill or what we can potentially do, what teams we could potentially beat. But that ultimately comes from being really well practiced, working well together. If we have a really solid draft that we're playing the game in, I think that it's very difficult for me to not feel confident going in against a team, no matter who they are.
Leaves pushing forward. Yon is kiting and kiting and kiting. Crim on the back line trying to take down Ultravox, with Ultravox takes him down. Leaves 1v2 right now, taking down 2 members of Art of War.
Yube's coming in trying to save their target. Look at that Zillion ult coming in to save Utility Monster at the last possible second. And there's going to be a huge amount of damage. We got the Janna as well. Trying to heal them up. The Calling is just taking out so much, jumping over the wall. The flash from Jeff God Gamer managed to find the final target.
It's been great playing with RLS all season and coming up with new acronyms for their team. I hope after our series they have some extra L's to work with.
Oh, that is a huge Aurelia stun, but it's not going to matter if they just get bounced around and knocked all over the place and taken out. They're not able to engage at all. Reset trying to get over the wall, doesn't quite manage to make it. And then we got Sunny trying to get in on that backline, but they get ripped to shreds by the damage from rapidly losing.
Utility is the first to go down. Dax is running away. Jeff God Gamer summons the curtain call. Antunes stops it though with a hook. Jeff God Gamer goes down to the Jinx Rocket. Bill goes down. Civillock.
I don't think this best of 5 will be honestly that hard. After all, when we're fighting TDE, it really just feels like we're fighting YUBI 0.5, and I mean, we've seen how we do against YUBI already.
Hello, folks, and welcome to the Friend or Foe Series Season 5 Semifinals. We have got YUBI versus Basic Income going against rapidly losing Sanity. I am your friendly neighborhood Shagcaster Shargan, and I have got joining me on the caster's desk the one, the only, the unbenched Kench, Rat Kench, joining me right now.
Hello.
All right, you excited for this?
I am excited. These are honestly 2 of my favorite teams, so I get to see them both play against each other. It's something I've been wanting to see them do a best of series for a while, ever since last season, when we were denied the cross league rivalry between them. So I'm really looking forward to this. Really looking forward to seeing how these teams adapt. Want to note, we do have some subs in for these teams today. Anti starting in top lane for RLS, Arena and Freelancer in the bottom lane for Yumi. So not the full starting lineups from them, but I'm still excited. I think this will be great to watch.
Yeah, I think this is actually quite big. Unfortunately, Jeff had some internet outage issues in his area, so was not able to join in, which means that Arena Thunder is going to be taking his place. So we'll have to see how things go in the bot lane for YUBI. This could really change the way things end up playing out during this series, and it's going to be really, really interesting. Personally, I'm kind of leaning towards RLS. I want to see YUBI get taken down just because it's YUBI, and they've kind of made themselves the monster of this league. But I think it's going to be really interesting to see exactly how things end up going. War Leader picking up let's go and hop into these picks right here. So we've got War Leader picking up the Diana and Tephra picking up the Thresh. Very common picks for the side of RLS. And we see that the Volibear and Seraphine have both been picked up as well. Seraphine has just so much AP damage and CC available that it's just going to be really, really nice for YUBI to kind of round out whatever comp they're trying to build here.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think Seraphine is actually really strong right now in the game, especially if you've got, so you've got 2 enchanters now. We've got Senna, we've got Seraphine. I'm guessing that's Seraphine mid. Unless they're playing at bot lane like the Seraphine farm, that would be pretty scary. Heavy AP on that. We'll have to see what comes afterwards. But I do like this draft so far because there's a lot of flexibility, I think, running the Seraphine and the Senna. Like, if you do them support and then mid, you can have a heavy hyper carry and you can just keep them healed and shielded all game. Or if you run them together, you'll still have a pretty nice, like, good duo bot lane that's pretty healthy, sustainable, and then you just can put up like an assassin in the mid or something. So I think it's a good strategy to go with. But the Jinx, coming through for RLS, it is a very good counter. I think Jinx is the strongest AD carry in the game right now, so I think that is good to have. If they can catch Yuumi early on and get a nice lead for it, they could snowball this game pretty easily.
Yeah, and something to keep in mind here is this is the first set of games we are playing on patch 12.8, so this is the patch where Jinx did get a little bit of a nerf, so they have had their base health reduced, so that means that Escape is going to be a little bit squishier right now, and this is also the patch where Swain is currently disabled because of the fact that he had such a massive set of changes, so we won't be seeing Swain picked up, even though he's kind of in a really good spot right now, meta-wise, so that'll be something to keep in mind. There's a couple of other changes I'm kind of expecting to see pulled out. A little bit surprising. We haven't seen Sejuani picked up because of how strong they've gotten here. But if that is a Volibear top, we could be seeing it on the side of Universal Basic Income.
Yeah, I think we could be seeing it over there. I think it's going to go to Utility Monster. I see him as someone who does have a good volley, so that wouldn't surprise me to see it there. I'm sure Red's played it. I just can't remember the game off the top of my head, but I think it's flex. Like that's kind of YUBI's style is to take things they can flex around, be able to just kind of change their draft. Okay, so it's definitely volley jungle if they lock this in. Pretty sure that's
which
gonna be a
which is funny
top.
because I still remember when Wukong was the jungler and not the top laner for a while.
The good old days.
Right? All right, so with that, we have the Wukong lock-in, so that's going to be red on the Wukong. A lot of dive, a lot of really like heavy burst damage coming out on the side of YUBI, but I do like the disengage that RLS has built themselves up for. You've got the lockdown on Malzahar, you've got the Flay coming out from Thresh, you basically got Diana just diving in and moonlighting everyone as well, so they're all playing around protecting that Jinx, making sure that she doesn't get blown up instantaneously, while at the same time trying to disrupt whatever YUBI is trying to do. Picking the Vel'Koz for Civillock in the mid lane is also going to allow them some nice poke potential and able to just make sure that Malzahar isn't able to roam. So that'll be kind of interesting to see right there. And then with this set pickup, one of Anti's classics. They didn't let him pick Aurelia, so he's basically like, fine, I'll take a set instead.
Yeah, the moment I saw the Aurelia ban, but no set, I was like, oh, Anti's picking set. Like I don't think it even mattered what his opponent was. He was going to pick set.
Right.
So it's good to see. I will say I like RLS's comp. I think it's a very good traditional comp. It's got a lot of pick potential, a lot of ability to catch. A little worried though about its long-term fight capabilities though. It's if they don't get that burst off in the initial part of the game, I'm worried that an initial part of a fight and allow Jinx to get the resets. I'm a little worried if they're going to be able to really take the rest of it. Granted, there's not a lot of
brazen walk up coming out from RLS. I love it. Instantaneously, Threshhook's going to go out, catch onto that Seraphine, get a nice bit of damage down, not pick up a kill or burn anything, but it does allow them to freely place that ward, so they'll immediately know where Utility Monster is going to go.
Good catch right there, even getting a little bit of damage, forcing the Seraphine to back. Does not look like she got any tier stacks off that, unfortunately. Which, could have at least made it slightly worth it. But, it's just going to be, I think, a standard start. I don't think either of these teams are going for anything really too crazy. They know the snowball potential both of them have. I think the Vel'Koz is an interesting pick, though. We didn't talk about this in the draft, but I think, the Vel'Koz, especially considering like you don't really have a lot of like standard like setup on this comp, it seems a little unique, but I think it pairs really well with the Seraphine and the Wukong. They have a lot of ability to lock down a lot of targets in a line and give like Vel'Koz the perfect ult like firing line. So I think it'll be interesting to see if YUBI can pull that off well.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to give them a lot. Like they have a lot of disruption available to just allow the Vel'Koz to pop off, like you said. And one of the things I think is kind of interesting, though, if we look over at the betting pool right now, YUBI is currently at 45%. So it seems like RLS is currently favored to win right now, just based off the way the audience is voting.
I mean, that's fine with me. This means that if UB wins, I'm just gonna get a really big payout on my end. But yeah, I think that's fair to say. Jeff God is one of the stronger players on UB, most consistently. So being without him, I could see why people are nervous. It is pretty dangerous. Ooh, as we see a fight break out.
We got a nice fight breaking down here in the bot lane. Freelance is getting brought very, very low. RLS's escape has got a nice angle right here. Just look at the damage. Both flashes coming out. This is going to be first blood going over to Thrashes. Unfortunately, the enhanced auto attack takes that extra damage, but that means that the momentum and the pacing are now on the side of RLS for this bot lane as we see Utility Monster starting to rotate up into the top lane.
Yeah, it seemed they got a little aggressive there. Weren't respecting the minion wave. Ooh, red.
Ooh, red is getting really, really low. Getting a little bit cheeky there.
Yeah. You got to be careful. This is anti-set. Red has dealt with this in the past in previous seasons, so I'm sure he's very aware of just how careful you have to be playing into this, because anti will run away with this game if he gets the opportunity on this pick. But going back to that bot lane, I think that was just too early an aggression from them. You only have a tier on the Seraphine, you only have the support item on the Senna. You can't really match that damage that the Jinx and the Thresh are putting out.
This is true. I mean, look at this right here. Kind of funny. A lot of damage coming out. Utility Monster getting a nice angle on there. Red using the clone in order to dodge out of there. War Leader has come to counter gank Utility Monster. They do suss him out and they do find him, which means that the engage is not going to necessarily happen the way Utility Monster wants it to. He's looking to get over, but isn't quite able to. One thing I think is kind of interesting right now is currently we are looking at a 0 CS game. Nobody has gotten a single minion kill. It's kind of impressive. We're already 4 minutes in and no one has killed a single minion.
I know, right? And look at, there's a kill on the board, but no one actually got it. With madness. Oh, there we go.
there we go. There we go. Now we're actually seeing everything accurately and see how things look. I'm a little upset because I thought that was really impressive, but no, it's a normal game. We've got bot lane on the side of RLS doing very well. Got themselves a nice CS lead. We are seeing that this is the fasting Senna. A nice hook finding the center of that Senna mist right there. So that means that Freelance is going to get caught out. And unfortunately, there's nowhere for them to really go. That's just going to be a lot of damage. Escape is going to finally be able to pick this up right here. They're trying to get the last auto attack off. Not able to get it. War Leader is going to be the one to finish it off, taking a tower shot for their trouble. They are going to get rooted down and brought very low, though. You've got to watch out for that Seraphine extra damage. Getting caught in a minion wave, that is not where you want to be commanding your troops from.
Yeah, and I think you can see Freelancer's a little bit lack of experience in this role, kind of shining through. He's stepping very far forward, being very aggressive. And with Senna, you can kind of do that if your opponent isn't Thresh, isn't someone who can just grab you and basically make you a free kill at will. If it's something like a poke lane, this was the Seraphine on the other side, maybe
just getting some nice fisticuffs in there,
getting them punches in. But overall, a 1,300 gold lead. A 1,200 gold lead. 1,100. Sorry, the count's all getting off. 1,100 gold lead for RLS right now. So it's a good start for them. 2 kills up, looking very solid. Though I think they want to transfer some of these kills over to this Jinx. The assist gold is nice, but getting the kills would really help the snowball. Thresh is good, and having some gold is nice, but he's not gonna pop off or carry with it. It doesn't really add too much to their team comp if Thresh gets the gold. He's got the lantern, he's got the hook. That's all you really need from Thresh. Everything else is just superfluous.
True. It is always gravy to get that locket a little bit earlier than you plan to, though. So it is nice to have that shield if you're able to pop it out, and we have seen Tef use that to great effectiveness. In the meantime, it seems like Pangu Soul is basically holding even with definitely not Vel'Koz over there. I don't know what champ he's up against, but it's definitely not Vel'Koz for sure. I think we were trolled by the draft there.
I know, right? You think you see, you get the pick, you see it looks like a Vel'Koz. Nope. Definitely not it. Definitely not a Vel'Koz.
All right, and I like Utility Monster hiding out in this bush. I feel like he suspects something based on the way they are positioning themselves right there, and they definitely are going to get caught out, those. Unfortunately, they're going to be brought exceptionally low. We do see the grit coming out, giving him a massive shield. The flash and the burns are going to come out as well. War Leader, though, has come in to save his top laner, and look at the damage coming out from Anti as the pit boss takes down the target at the same time as the Moon Goddess takes down the bear.
Oh, that was looking so good for Yubi, but staying too long after the flash and the ult comes out of anti, I think they just need to really back off there. Just go, okay, we got this out of them. There's no reason to continue, especially once you see Diana. But they walk forward. They both get hit by the ultimate, the damage amp from having both of them, and it's just pain from that point on. And now 3,000 gold up for this RLS squad right here. It's looking pretty good here. And as we talked before this game, like I was talking to you guys before we even started the broadcast, YUBI has found themselves in this kind of situation before. Granted, usually with Jeff on the team, but they do often find themselves at these early game deficits. The question is, without Jeff, can they do what they usually do? Can they make the comeback and pull the win like just out of a hat? Or is this actually going to be RLS running away with this game? We'll have to just see.
YUBI likes to pick the scaling comps. It's just kind of the way that they play the game. They go for the stuff that's going to always have the late game potential. And Seraphine and Senna is definitely a way to go. You get plenty of stacks on Senna, you're going to start dealing plenty of damage, and you have a nice bit of range that you just don't have to worry about. However, you've got the Jinx and the that's going to be on the other side that will eventually become a late game hyper carry for the side of RLS. Anti right here already knows that is the clone, not the real target. Looking for that engage. They are going to get out the face breaker. They are going to smack Red into his minions, getting that stun, chunking him down, and basically putting him within death range as we see the showstopper coming back. Oh, Civillock flashing in right on top of Vel'Koz. The Jinx rocket is just going to go wide as the flash comes out, and unfortunately, we do see Jinx coming in with the zap cannon from downtown, picking up that snipe.
F with the prediction hook right there, catching Civillock right after the flash right there. Such a good play out of this support. Tef, we've seen him be pretty good on Thresh in past seasons and even this season already, but continues to live up to the legend they've built with this champion so far.
They really do, and that was a great amount of coordination coming out from YUBI. They rotated up after taking down the Hex Drake, so that was going to be a good bit of stats on them anyway, but just the basically going, okay, now we're going to take down this thing that's in the mid lane. I swear it's a Vel'Koz, but it doesn't look like it, and they just get a nice bit of lockdown. Utility Monster once again returned to the top lane. It hasn't been working out well for them. We're going to have to see if it actually still continues.
Yeah, like you said, going well so far, but this is about this is looking like a very average Yuumi game right now with the same kind of like deficit being in at this point. So it's kind of on track for a traditional Yubi game. Yep. Still they've still got them right where they want them.
They're sitting at a very comfortable 4K deficit. Yeah.
Yeah, just 4K. No big deal.
Yeah. All right, there, Facebreaker coming out, getting a nice bit of damage, a couple of shots off. Red almost staying inside the true damage, does manage to sidestep and avoid it from that haymaker.
Look at this Senna stacks right now. I feel like I've seen Senna get a lot of souls here. I want to say they're probably around 35 souls?
Senna's probably at a very good spot right now when it comes to stacks. They've been able to get a nice bit of damage off, get a pretty good proc on their gold item as well. Freelancer taking a free cannon shot, just staying under tower a little bit too long.
Yeah, so I'm looking for the point where the Senna breaks about 80 stacks, or even I guess 100. I think that's about the point where she's going to be safe from most of the potential engage coming out of RLS. Like she can stand so much further back, and they're going to have to kind of try to force it to pick her off, which will be good. If you're forcing your RLS to have to commit more to catch you, that's just better for your team in the team fight. I mean, you don't want to get killed either way, but just making it more difficult for the enemy team. And that's why I'm curious about these souls, because I want to see how fast Freelancer is getting these. If they're getting there pretty fast, they could hit a really good point sooner rather than later.
Sooner rather than very, very potential for that to happen. However, I think if we're looking at the way that this map is kind of set up, RLS has got a pretty decent amount of control. They're looking to engage here on this mid lane. Diana did drop the Rift Herald, so we are going to be see that come out here. That is going to be mid tower taking a nice big chunk of damage. Ooh. They are trying to get out. They do manage to kill it. before getting that final with that last smite. That was really, really, really well done by Utility Monster and Civil.
Answer.
Yep, answer for that. Look at that damage healing coming out right there. Miss Jinx Rocket does mean that Freelancer is going to probably find a way to walk out. They are going to have to flash to avoid the Zap Cannon, but that is some good disengage as Senna avoids getting taken down once again.
Yeah, it could have been bad if it didn't have the flash. So good job on Freelancer right there. But Invasion now on the red side, they're looking for something here on the side of RLS in the jungle. Maybe just getting Vision down. There's like 3 of them waiting for Utility Monster.
Getting some vision down, taking out some of the bot lane camps as we see that Utility Monster is in the top lane once again, trying to engage on this set. Escape let themselves get brought very, very low. They don't have a bounty on their head, though. So because of getting those early assists rather than kills, it is kind of to their advantage right there.
Uncivilized.
Stepping out a little bit too much. Anti is taking a lot of damage for his trouble trying to get that engage going. Doesn't quite have the movement speed to catch up, though.
Slippery little octopus right there.
They see him slipping.
Into
back
the
to
future.
There we go. All right, so
can never hit a good Space Jam reference.
No, you really can't. Really can't. All right. So with the state of this game, we are seeing RLS take advantage of their pressure and getting this red Infernal Drake. So that means that they are putting themselves very close to Soul Point. Anti, once again, he's just a little bit too slow and can't quite get there. We do see Utility Monster getting surprised and suppressed over at his red buff. He's having to go unstoppable and flash away just to not get taken down. Pangu's Soul is kind of a little bit itching for that.
Oh,
not
the Rocket.
able to get the kill. Rocket is going to find him. Oh, no, he's going to walk up just in time.
Very close. And good from Freelancer. That shield definitely kept Utility Monster alive. Probably would have died without it. Good escape. Burn some, a couple ultimates to burn 3 there. Burned a flash. So, and a
nice fight going on here in the top lane. Anti thinks it's a 1v1, but it's actually a 2v1. But you know what? He's the pit boss. He really doesn't mind that too much, but it's not going to be enough as he's going to get taken down. We do see now Arena Thunder, though, caught under tower, getting peppered by those Jinx Rockets. War Leader taking the tower shots for their ally. They do manage to survive, and thanks to that pot, and that means that is going to be bot lane going down as they pick up 2 kills.
YUBI finally gets on the board, but RLS quickly responds with a dive on bottom side. This bottom lane, while very strong, has no really way to get out of those kind of situations. They're very squishy. They're not very mobile. So just easy picks constantly coming down here. And RLS looking so good in this opening game of this series. Up, 6,000 gold almost. Like almost exactly.
This is a series. This is a best of 5. So winning game 1, while exceptionally important because it gets you that momentum, does not mean that it's anywhere near to over.
It's true. Tis true. What is that Senna building? I'm curious what this Senna is building. I just looked down and realized it looks like she might be going towards Locket.
I believe they are going Locket because that is an Aegis right there.
Oh, I don't know about that one, Chief. I honestly, I wouldn't build a normal support item on Senna unless maybe you were going Moonstone just like for extra heal. I don't know. I feel like it's better to force her towards damage, especially because you don't have a normal AD carry.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see exactly how they end up playing it out because it could be a situation of maybe they just build the one support mythic and then they go damage for everything else. It would provide a shield, which they do need in order to survive some of these fights. It could also just be, maybe there was some miscommunication and they didn't go fasting Senna. They went support Senna. We'll just have to end up seeing here as the game progresses. Top lane getting brought very, very low. Mid lane's probably going to be brought out of the equation shortly as well. We didn't have that charge off, so that's important. We do have second Rift Herald up, though, so we do see RLS trying to clear some vision out in order to make a push for it.
An even Shroud.
Could be
an even. Could be that. I mean, I could see that, getting some bonus damage. Could be an option, but I'm just keep watching and see how this goes. we'll see. I trust that Freelancer has an idea with it. But speaking of ideas,
this is definitely a good one on the side of RLS. Put this pressure in the top lane. They've got the Rift Herald ready to go. They're going to be looking for a dive right here, as unfortunately Rez is going to have to walk away or get himself killed. Dropping the Herald in the top lane means that this tower is going to fall. We could be seeing a second charge. Senna has come down to try and assist right now, so we'll see exactly if we're able to get a good engage. All right, Shelly's looking for that second charge. They are going to be able to find it, get taken out instantaneously, but that is a nice chunk of damage on that top tier 2.
yeah, good damage. Getting that pressure where they need it. I mean, they still need to take this mid turret, I think, to really gain full control of this map. But I think it's actually going to drop right here. Maybe not now. They're going to clear it in time. But close, very close to dropping.
Ooh.
RLS just looking more and more commanding as this game is going on. YUBI, I think they really need to slow the pace down if they want to make something happen here. If they want to be able to get back into this, but I don't know if RLS is going to really let them.
RLS definitely isn't going to let them. They're going to push this as best they can. And we've got Bob Joseph over in the chat saying that it is probably a Locket Senna, which I think is just most likely the thing. They went straight support this time around. We'll have to see, like, once these team fights start kicking off, if they're able to put out the damage, and we'll see exactly how things end up playing out. However, I do think that RLS have kind of set the tone for this best of 5 series, and that they're like, look, you want to come in and you want to play the way that you've been playing, YUBI, it's not going to cut it. You got to bring out your A game, and you got to bring out all the stops. Otherwise, we're just going to steamroll it into a 3-0.
Yeah, it looks like they're looking for something right here. I think they're probably going to have to fire this in a while. I don't think they want him on soul point, but Anti caught out.
No, he's caught out, quote unquote, in the back line, ready to show stop this and bring it all of that crashing down. We do see Volibear trying to get in there to get the smite off. Isn't quite able to do it. Red team's going to get that dragon. They're going to pick it up. We got the Wukong getting a couple knockups as well. We got War Leader in the back line, peppering them with the extra damage. The Moonlight coming out, dashes in, just gets a nice kill. Volibear is going to get taken down. Freelancer does manage to pick something up. Civillock taking down Escape, but that is going to be a double kill for Malzahar as the Voidling Master just picks himself up some more minions.
Excellent work from RLS. YUBI at least getting themselves 2 kills here, but RLS, they get the dragon, they get 3. They're now on soul point, so YUBI, if they don't want them to get this soul, they're going to have to fight for every single dragon from this point onward.
And I think the reason they probably went Senna was they wanted to take Guardian as well, because it does provide that extra interaction with the double shield.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's probably what the main goal was. Unfortunately, not having that means that it's not going to work out the way that they necessarily want it to.
It means it's bad if they don't have that.
It's average. I wouldn't say bad. I'd say it's traditional support.
I would rather they just rushed Umbral Glaive, but whatever. They do what they want, and the shield did help them keep alive in that fight, so I'll give them that. It did go well in that regard. Kept them alive long enough to get those extra kills.
I love the audacity on Teffer right there, just going for that 2v1 cheekiness.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cheeky. Ooh,
very, very
cheeky.
Yeah. Anti, just knowing immediately when the clone pops up is like, hold on a second. Get back here.
Yeah, you gotta bait him. You gotta just kind of fake that it's a clone. You just stop moving abruptly. But mid turret going down now. RLS now 3 turrets yet. Sorry, they didn't get that top one yet. So 3 turrets on the board that they've taken so far. They're up 8,000 gold and looking like they're going to close this game out very soon unless YUBI can find some sort of pick or get a really good start to a fight. I don't know. I feel like RLS is just not going to let them get to a point where they'll just, like, the Senna just overscales on them.
They definitely have a big major advantage right here. Poor utility monster going in and finding that all of his pick-a-nick baskets have been taken by RLS. There's nothing available to him. Utility monster running in there like the speedy boy that he is. Does manage to finally stun Anti, costing his flash, but you know what? It's just a negative game right there. That is a negative return. That is not what they wanted to see. Their investment strategy did not play out.
Yeah, not as well as they had hoped it would, but this Baron, as ping's going towards it, I think they're going to start heading up over to that right now for RLS.
So we got a bit of a death bush set up right here in the top lane as they're trying to bait out this Baron. RLS clearly wants to take it, but they're just waiting for YUBI to come so that they can try and get the picks off first. Cleared all of that vision out does mean that YUBI's going to be walking into a very risky situation. Anti does have the TP available, so they will be able to come join this fight. Right now, it kind of looks like YUBI's just going to give it up, which is probably the smart play.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth contesting it right here unless they can stop Anti from teleporting in. They got the teleport out of him though.
They got the teleport out, but unfortunately, Utility Monster's going to get caught really early and just get burst down before he even has a chance to get within smite range. We do see the UB Red going in, trying to get something, but unfortunately, he's going to get completely locked down by Pango Soul. In the meantime, we got the Vel'Koz shooting the laser over the wall, does manage to disintegrate Diana, so there is nothing left of that poor Moon Goddess, but that means that it is going to cost 2 members of UB just to take down 1 Baron.
Yeah, I think Utility Monster should have waited a bit longer before. And once you see the teleport, just back out, wait for the rest of your team to get there and just take it. I think if all 5 of them had been there, they may have been able to make something work, but goes down beforehand, forces it into a 4v5. Red trying to just buy space, did a good job with that, at least forcing the Malzahar and the Jinx to kind of pay attention to him. And yeah, they got the kill in the back end, but Baron going over to RLS. Now they're pushed, even stronger. They're going to take this top turret. They're rotating over, Dragon up in 30. They're going for this soul right here. I don't know if YUBI can really contest it with the Baron up and these waves pushing like this.
The siege potential on the side of RLS is just really, really strong, and there's not a lot that UB can do. Unfortunately, the best thing that they can do right now is probably just clear out these waves as best as possible and then just try to avoid any fights, because those Baron-empowered minions are just going to be so painful. It does look like they're going to be contesting this Drake, which they kind of have to do. Otherwise, it's going to be a free Mountain Soul. And on RLS, a team that's already just kind of ripping through UB, there's not a lot they can do. Look, nice hook coming out. That is going to catch Utility Monster out, and they're going to unfortunately get burst down by that Haymaker, taking it right on the chin. The Jinx Rocket's going to come out as well, but unfortunately, that's going to take down Score Senna. We do see a double kill coming out. Rockets continuing as Arena Thunder is now eliminated, and that is a double kill going over to Jinx, and that is an ace for RLS. This push is just going to happen, and there's nothing that UB can do to stop it. He's dead. And then that's going to be a free Drake for RLS once they decide to back off and after taking this inhib.
Yeah, Anti just literally walking up to the front line of UB, just pulls them together and just basically seals the team's fate just right off the bat. Good fight there out of RLS. They get the ace, they get the soul, and I think they're going to get this first game. It's just a matter of backing, resetting, and just making that final push.
It's just a matter of time. The clock is ticking on that Universal Basic Income. The investment strategy did not pay off this time. However, this is only game number 1, like we mentioned. We've still got another 4 games left to play.
That
Which
is
I can hear the cringing from producers in the background as they're like, no, don't you dare take this to game 5.
I can hear Theracles cringing in the background. Oh god, it's at 5 games.
Right. So,
but
based on the way this game has played out, where do we expect the changes to really come from on the side, like based on the draft in the next game? I'm expecting to see a little bit more of a traditional ADC come out on the side of UB and for them to take away that Jinx, because even though it has less health, it's still doing a lot of damage.
yeah, I think you really need something to just have straight DPS. This comp's it's good if this wasn't a comp, like kind of the comp that RLS was running. You need to have some way to get the DPS out, to be able to break something like the set. I think definitely you ban the set. No reason really to give Anti either of his 2 top champions. I think you force him onto something he's uncomfortable with, make it a little bit harder on him. But I do think the Vel'Koz has actually been working well, so I kind of hope we see more of it.
Honestly, I feel like Civillock has always been in that situation where it's like they pick a champion that they're really comfortable with, they're really good with, but for whatever reason, other things on the map happen that just don't allow them to shine.
Civillock reminds me a lot of Niski, and Doinby plays for
look
the
at
team.
that hook, prediction over the wall, catching red. I mean, it's not like we're going to see Tef jump over there to go fight that, but still.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit too far behind for that, but they've got to make a stand at some point. They're base. They've lost 1 inhibitor. They're going to possibly lose the 2nd inhibitor turret on the top side if this next minion wave crashes. There is no Baron, so they have an opportunity here. Oh,
Yep, another it does find the center. That's the target they want. Diana dashing over the wall as well, getting a nice moon call, capturing 3 members of poor YUBI. YUBI getting absolutely decimated. The picnic baskets are nowhere for poor Volibear. Volibear is going to get taken down, and Arena Thunder putting on one last show, one last encore as they are taken out, and that is going to be the final push. We are going to be seeing this game end here, and that is probably going to be game number 1 going over to RLS in a, not a record time, but in an under 30-minute game.
yeah, RLS making a statement in this first game, 22-5, about 15,000 gold lead, give or take, and just a statement to start the series out.
What a statement it is. So now that we've seen RLS come out swinging and getting some nice, good hits in there, picking up that what kind of change-ups we're going to get out of YUBI. They clearly need to do something in this draft to kind of bring things forward, and it'll be really, really interesting to see how things play out.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what adaptations we see come out of YUBI and even RLS, like how they adapt their draft to make their wins even more convincing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we are having some crazy spicy changes. It is going to be RLS on the red side, the red and dead side. And unfortunately, Anti is going to be dipping out. We're going to have Built Like Mewtwo coming in. And then we are also getting Jeff God Gamer.
I see both teams are taking the training weights off for the second one.
We're going to get some primary Lotuses out of this one, folks. Don't go away. We will be right back.